Yes, guys, welcome back to Grey Talks Wrestling. Hope you're all keeping well. Hope you've all smashed that like button, smashed the subscribe button. Thank you very much to those of you that have done so already. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw, the night after SummerSlam. To be honest with you, I haven't watched many Raws in a while because they've been hard watches, but this one was actually pretty decent. Had a good start, had some stuff to keep me interested in the middle, and had a bloody good finish. A cliffhanger at the end. A what's going on here moment. What next? You want to watch more? It actually flew by. One of the easiest shows of Raw I've watched in a long time. Let me know what you thought down below. Was this better than episodes gone by before? Or am I missing something here? Has Raw been pretty good and pretty decent over the last couple of weeks? I will say one thing. Far too many SummerSlam replays on this show. That was the one thing that did annoy me quite a bit, that it was constant. Like every 5 minutes they had a recap of what happened at SummerSlam. It was Raw with a side of SummerSlam. Or maybe the other way around actually. SummerSlam with a side of Raw. You might as well just put the whole SummerSlam show on again. It was that bad. New commentary team on Raw now. Michael Cole and Wade Barrett, I suppose, is a bit better than Kevin Patrick, but supposedly he's been shipped over to SmackDown, so we've still got to suffer through him anyway. Why didn't they just send him on his way? Send the geezer back into Ireland, man. He is absolutely useless. Absolutely dreadful. Barrett and Cole did a good job. We should have Cole and Graves on SmackDown. That's decent enough, man. I'm not asking for any magic, anything special. I'm not expecting anything special from this commentary teams on WWE anymore. It's not like the good old days of JR and King and Heenan and Monsoon. Remember them days when we actually had decent commentary teams? Anyway, we move from there. Let's talk about the show, shall we? Because out comes the American Nightmare. And what next now for him after he has defeated Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam? Looks like we're rebuilding this feud now. He's chasing after a title. I thought he was talking about, after he said Brock Lesnar acknowledged me, I thought he was talking about Roman Reigns, but out comes Seth Rollins, and I'm like, really? He's going after the secondary title? Is that what we want? We really want to see Cody go after that secondary title? No, we want to see Cody challenging Roman Reigns, getting back to that level again. Not having to sift through the shit of Seth Rollins coming out in those ridiculous croc boots. What the hell was that about? Come on. Seriously? Here comes Seth Rollins. Here comes the Judgment Day. I do enjoy the Judgment Day, don't get me wrong. But I've seen enough of Finn Balor and Seth Rollins to last me a lifetime. Don't need any more of it. I really, really don't. I enjoy Rhea. I enjoy Dom. I enjoy Damian Priest. Finn Balor in spurts and bits, and we'll talk about a bit more about him. And I'm enjoying what they're doing with him and Damian Priest, and flirting with some tension, maybe a breakup there coming in the Judgment Day. I don't want it to happen. I actually want the Judgment Day to grow stronger, and I think they will. They should add to their numbers, and it looks like that's the way it could possibly go. Anyway, a match is made later on in the night. Sami Zayn comes out, and there's a brawl between the Judgment Day, Balor, and Priest, and Dominic, and Cody, and Seth Rollins. Of course, it's the same format every time. They have a talking moment, and then they all fight. It's so predictable, and then a match is made later on in the night. 6-man tag for the main event. Ricochet's angry about losing to Logan Paul, and rightfully so. Logan cheated him. More packages of SummerSlam shown again. Then we get a four-way match. Now, I'm not usually a big fan of a four-way match, but the four men in this match actually put together a decent contest. It was actually watchable, passable at best. Ciampa, Riddle, Gable, and Ricochet put on a decent match. The winner gets to fight Gunther for the IC title, and after what happened last week with Gable and the fact that he's in his hometown this week, you knew he was going over. But they put on a good show, and they're finally taking Chad Gable seriously. Finally, after all these years of making him a joke, They're finally going to try and do something decent with him. He's had to sieve through the shit of Shorty G and Shoe shit. And finally, maybe we can finally take him seriously again. Back in the days when he was in American Alpha, that was the last time we could taking him seriously. Back in NXT, I want to see more of that Chad Gable. The Chad Gable I saw personally at the Olympics in 2012. I want to see that Chad Gable. The serious, athletic Chad Gable, the Olympian that is Chad Gable. And hopefully we're going to get to see that now. With him and Gunther. And there was more to come from them. The story was told throughout this show, which was really good. There were a couple of stories threaded throughout this show. It was a decent show. You can't deny it. Nakamura versus Bronson Reed was what it was. Middle of the road show match for the middle of the show that you just have to sit through, and it was okay, I suppose. Nakamura gets the win. What they're doing with Bronson Reed, who knows? But Shin moves on from here, and he's got more to come later on in the show, which is interesting. Trust me, I was not expecting anything more from Nakamura on this show, but what he does do later on in the show will shock you if you haven't watched it. Rodriguez finds out that her knee is absolutely done. Bollocks because of Rhea Ripley, and she is not happy backstage. More to come from her later on in the show. Maxine and Ludwig are backstage, and Ludwig's trying it on with Maxine, but he gets shot down and slapped. And Otis steps in, and a match is made. Otis versus Ludwig Kaiser. Lynch is in the ring, waiting for a promo. She comes out before the Otis thing backstage, and then he's just made to stand and look stupid through loads of packages, loads of stuff, and then we finally get back to Becky Lynch in the ring, cuts a promo, out comes Starks. This is absolutely dreadful. Then comes Baszler. This is absolutely dreadful. Hard to watch. My finger is hovering over the fast forward button during this bit. They're just testing me. They're begging me to press that fast forward button, aren't they? But no, I held out and I watched Zoe Stark versus Shayna Baszler. The match started off pretty decent. But then it just got ugly and shit and was dreadful. Luckily, Baszler won. Luckily. But it was a bad finish. Ugly, to say the least. Uglier than the shiner on Shayna's eye. That was a bad one, man. She got caught nasty at SummerSlam by Ronda. But I thought it would have done more with Shayna tonight, considering she'd just beaten the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, at SummerSlam in a dreadful match as it was, but they could have made more out of that. They didn't really capitalise on the momentum that she could have had after that match. Suppose she wins though, and hopefully they're trying to build Shayna Baszler back up to the Shayna Baszler that left NXT. Because since then she's done absolutely nothing apart from Saturday where she defeated Ronda Rousey. That's the biggest moment and the biggest thing she's done ever since she left NXT. And that was years ago. Years ago. Finally, maybe they can start building her up as a contender to Rhea Ripley. That would make sense. I wouldn't mind seeing that, actually. Now, something interesting going on backstage with Finn and JD McDonough. What is going on there? Is Finn leaving the Judgment Day, or is JD McDonough joining the Judgment Day? I would prefer the latter, if you ask me. I could see them forming a nice tag team, Finn and JD, going after those tag straps, along with the other members of the Judgment Day, backing them up in Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley. Would make that faction a little bit stronger, in my opinion. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But there is a bit of a rift between Damian and Finn still. They're still teasing that split for the Judgment Day, but Rhea's having none of it. She solves the problems there. She is the problem solver. She is the leader of the Judgment Day. Let's have this right. Rhea Ripley leads and runs the show. No questions. No questions asked there. Now we got Sami Zayn versus injured backstage by JD McDonough after a Nakamura interview. JD doing some work for the Judgment Day, it seems. Taking out Sami Zayn. He's out of the match. So Nakamura is going to take his place. And you see a stare from Nakamura at Seth Rollins after he asks him, can he join the team? And you knew something strange was going to happen tonight, but we'll get to that in a little bit because we've got to talk about Otis versus Ludwig Kaiser. Now, you might think I'm just going to say this match absolutely sucked, what's the point? But there was some point to it. This is actually a pretty decent side story to the Gable-Gunther feud that's going to happen. They're actually trying to do something with people. Give them storylines. Give them something. This match actually meant something. I can see Maxine at some point turning on the Alpha Academy and joining Imperium. I can actually visualise that. It might not happen, but the tease is there. And that's all good. If you think something could happen, but it never does, that's okay. I like this moment. I like this. It was okay. It was watchable, passable, decent match. Right person won. Gunther gets involved, costs Otis the match. The only problem with this I had was when Imperium were beating down Otis after the match. Out comes Gable and Imperium, Gunther, Kaiser and Vinci, the size of those geezers, run away from someone the size of Gable. One man in Chad Gable can make those three monsters run away. They should have beat the shit out of him as well. That's what should have happened. Got more heat going into this IC match with Gunther and Gable, but it didn't happen. Yes, the heels, as usual, have to run away. Just change it up a little bit. Come on, guys. You're better than this. But I do love how the ring announcer does say Ludwig Kaiser. One thing I got to say, I loved how she was saying his name. That was pretty cool. Miz and LA Knight. Looks like they're going to go with this feud. And I'm happy for this to see that go down. I don't mind LA Knight just dealing with the Miz one time, but the Miz is a joke now. The Miz is a clown. No one takes the Miz seriously anymore, really. So we know that LA Knight's going to handle his business right there and just move on from that. But LA Knight is an absolute star, and I'm happy he's on Raw. Another good moment. There are so many people that are over with the crowd now. It's amazing. Every segment had someone that can connect with the crowd here, in my opinion. It was pretty decent. Yeah. Miz gets hit with a blunt force trauma, and we move on. We're probably going to see a match between the two at some point, and you can't have the Miz winning, really. So, yeah, I expect LA Knight to deal with this and just move on from there and move on to bigger and better things. The guy is a born star. He can walk, he can talk, he can wrestle. He's got the whole package. He is the full package, and the WWE need to nurture it and mature and let it just mature slowly and gradually just let him take over and do his own thing. Can't wait to see where LA Knight goes next in the WWE. The Viking Raiders were up next and they had an open challenge, and who answered it? I thought maybe we could be seeing a new team, someone different, someone else being given a chance. A new thing, maybe? Oh, no, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to the new day. So Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods are back. And the crowd went mild. Why? What's the point in the new day anymore? What is the point in the new day? I thought they were building up the Viking Raiders again. Valhalla's with them. They're looking pretty decent as a faction. As a unit, they look pretty intimidating. And they're just going lose to the New Day, who are back, baby. And they're going to look to challenge for the tag team titles, they said backstage afterwards in another cringy interview that I really didn't need to see anymore in 2023. I really don't need to see the New Day on my TV screen in 2023. I'm done with the New Day. They're old, they're past. They're finished. They're stale. Can we break them up and have a feud between the two of them? That might be quite interesting. Kofi Kingston versus Xavier Woods. I'd actually want to see that. But no, they ain't breaking a New Day up ever. These guys are not talented enough to do anything else other than dance around and prat about like absolute clowns. So there was news that Sonya Deville has damaged her ACL, and I kind of feel bad for her. just won the tag team championships with Chelsea Green, and now they've got to vacate them. You got to feel for Chelsea too. Lovely girl, did meet her. She was lovely to my daughter, so I'm always going to hold her in high regard. She's a lovely, lovely woman, and I do feel bad for her, especially because I haven't actually met her, and she's a really, really nice person. So yeah, I feel bad for her, especially since they never really got a chance to show what they could do with those tag team championships. Both Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green are very talented, and they never really got the opportunity to shine in the WWE just yet. And will they ever again? Who knows? Because yeah, they won't hold the place for you. Not in that company, no way. So it's time for the main event. Judgment Day versus Cody, Seth, and now Shinsuke Nakamura. Out come the Judgment Day. And then out of nowhere, out the blue, just boom! Like a cannon. She was shot out of a fucking cannon. Here comes Raquel Rodriguez from nowhere. Just absolutely blindsides Rhea Ripley and absolutely beats the shit out of her. Just a wild brawl. And it was fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. I've never seen a woman's brawl this good before. Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley, two absolutely beasts of a women. Let's have it right. They are. They're built like brick shithouses. They beat the shit out of each other. For some reason, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell felt the need to come out and get involved. Candice was pretty wild, actually, when she got going and started brawling with Rhea Ripley, who took her shoe off and threw it at her. That was fucking brutal. Absolutely brilliant. Like, just out of nowhere, just a wild brawl. That's what I love when they do these sort of things, just out of nowhere. You don't expect it, and it was brilliant, and it actually meant something. You knew why Rodriguez was out there. She was absolutely pissed off that she'd had taken Rhea Ripley had taken advantage and injured her knee, and she wanted to get some retribution. Made sense. Very, very good moment. Like, people attacking the Judgment Day from all angles. There's feuds. They're feuding with everyone all over the place. They say they run the WWE, and this is the cost of running the WWE. You piss a lot of people off in a lot of places. And I can't wait to see Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez at some point down the line, because that's going to be absolutely immense. Absolutely immense. And to say the least, this 6-man tag, I'm not a big fan of these 6-man tags on Raw and SmackDowns, but this one was actually pretty entertaining. There was the conflict and the rift between the Judgment Day. There was hints of conflict between Seth and Cody during this match. And you didn't know which side would win, which side would falter because of those conflicts. And again, it was the Judgment Day, and again, it was the briefcase, and again, it was Finn Balor taking the loss. Poor old Finn, getting hit twice now. Damian Priest getting involved. Sami Zayn comes out of nowhere, and it's Sami and the briefcase that pretty much cost Judgment Day the win. And yeah, Judgment Day having to hold that L yet again, roll it up, smoke that L, Finn Balor, because you lost again, bruv. Dominic was very entertaining during this match. Rhea was very good during this match. I do love the Judgment Day. I've got to say, please, please, please don't break them up just yet. Let's let them get to at least War Games. I want to see a Judgment Day War Games. That's what I want to see. So we've got to try and hold on until at least Survivor Series, Vince McMahon. Please don't get the itch to break another fucking faction up that is this damn good. Rarely do you have the two very good factions come along in such short spaces of time in the Bloodline and the Judgment Day. And please, please, please don't try and break them up yet. Because you've got so much more that you can do with this faction. So much more that can happen. But yeah, this was the end of Raw. And I thought, yeah, it's over. You had the baby faces in the ring. You had Seth. You have Cody. Not really getting along, but kind of like, okay, we can settle it for tonight. After Sami Zayn gets in the room, like, come on, guys, let's all be friends. Why can't we be friends? 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 You know what I mean? Like, they can be friends, man, just for one night only. And they did. They shook hands. They got up on the top rope. They all celebrated. Yay! Seth gets down. Sami and Cody are in the corners celebrating, have their backs turned, and there's Shinsuke Nakamura. Boom! Kinshasa out of nowhere. Didn't see that coming. Well, I kind of did with the stare earlier on in the night from Nakamura backstage, like I mentioned earlier. I kind of thought, what's that about? The little stare there, little wrong-sided look there from Nakamura. Didn't look quite right in my opinion. That laid that sent that seed in my mind that something was going down later on in the night, right at the end, and it did. Nakamura looking for a world title shot, and I'm all for that. Heel turn from Nakamura. Let's make him like a badass Yakuza geezer. Like, dress him up in suits, sunglasses, the lot, and I'm all for that sort of shit. But if they do the same shit they did last time with him as a heel, do you remember last time it was just all like nut shots and bullshit like that? I don't want to see that again. I want to see a badass. I want to see a badass Nakamura coming out and just killing everyone. That's what I want to see. Hopefully I get that. Hopefully we get a good heel Nakamura now. Let's see where this goes though. I enjoyed this episode of Monday Night Raw. Yeah, it was 3 hours long. Yes, you had to sift through a load of adverts, entrances, SummerSlam repeats. But overall, I enjoyed this show. Let me know what you think down below if you have watched this whole review. Thank you very much for watching. Smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Stay calm. Peace. I'll see you next time.